Okay, can we hear us and see us again, ladies and gentlemen? I am so sorry for that. Let's see here. I'm kind of watching to see if we
Hey,
come back. I click
we're
We
something.
we're
are back.
live. I see us.
Oh, yay, cool. All right. Sorry about the
Yes,
technical difficulties.
we're here. We're back. We're
Ladies
live.
and gentlemen, I have learned the limits of my laptop right now. It's a pretty decent laptop, but it's not amazing to do everything that I want it to do. Usually I have a live producer. His PC handles all that, so I can have everybody's sheet open, everything open. Well, I guess I've hit that limit, so bear with me. Yes, thank you, Zweihander RPG. Whew. Here we go. Okay. So after the world ended, the mist fell upon everyone. It has now come back. So you all have very sage wisdom in regards to what you should do next. The question is, you just have to make a decision. But there is one other piece of information that will come from Adelaide, or that Adelaide can think of during this time. Adelaide, you have grown up in this town, unlike everyone else. Years ago, there was a silver mine, very small silver mine that, well, actually, excuse me, it's been closed for years, but it was boarded up more recently because a child had fallen down, essentially the old shaft that would lead into it. The town is kind of built above it. And you remember the stories of kids that would sneak down there. It's possible to go into the silver mines and you can escape further into where the mist would be. So if you were looking a way to get out of town without being noticed, that's one way. The problem is, if you want to get horses, you can't take horses in the silver mine. It's also, we're in a grim, dark world full of monsters and death. It's a silver mine. I'm pretty sure it's creepy as hell down there. But that being said, I will let you roleplay when to tell the group this knowledge, or if you're just like, nope, that sounds like not a good place to go. Because you do have a flaw that if you do fail any fear checks, which are decent at resisting, you like essentially hobble. You have the essentially frightened person in the horror movie syndrome. You just can't move as quick once you're scared. For now.
So amongst the squabbling and everybody trying to figure out what to do, Adelaide just stop. Okay, what is our plan? What do we stay at the inn,
Yes.
get supplies?
Yeah.
Do we need horses?
Well, they help outrun the wolves if there
But
are
is
wolves.
it a necessity?
Well, no, you don't need them. Well, I don't need them, but I don't know how fast or how long you guys are used to running. If we do need to run.
There are the silver mines. They've long since been boarded up, but they're way out of the city.
Can you get from them in town?
We just, if we needed the horses, we couldn't take them.
I don't need horses. I don't know about the rest of you.
I don't know how fast I can run. Never had to.
We'll try not running unless we have to. How about that?
All of you would be aware, specifically probably Albrecht and Lauren, Mathrael to a lesser extent. It is not known, I should say, it's not known to the common folk of whether or not mistwalkers have some sort of sorcery or magic, but they tend to avoid the worst of the mist. So some of the innate dangers might dissipate as long as she can move through it.
You know, I think we'll be okay if we have you with us, if what they say is true. As long as you can see through it, we should be okay.
I don't really know what to say, so I'm trusting you.
You will be tested, child.
Oh, good.
but this is how one grows.
I'm sorry, what was that, Maythriel? I didn't quite catch it.
A Mistwalker is an asset, regardless of their race.
All right. Well, let's get to the inn, I think, while it's less populated, before people start filtering back. And we'll go from there.
We go.
Perhaps I should unmute before
There
I
you
continue
go.
to say. I will say, getting to the inn is the easy part. As you're right, everyone is quite enthralled with the moderate inferno that is coming from the. Now it's not exactly the Lightless Stockade anymore, but the building is called the Lightless Stockade. You arrive
the god
at
of
inn.
the god of the sun says, "Let there be light,"
Yeah, exactly.
and there was, and it was.
Yeah. So that leaves you guys getting in the inn. We'll just skip the rolls. I feel like it's just with the tech difficulties, why slow the story down any further? You guys easily make it inside. It's a little touch and go there for a second. So you go in, all brick, like in front of the doors. Everyone's like, oh, the innkeeper, like, oh, do you see the blaze? You're like, yes, I do. It is quite unnerving. And while you keep him bit like, oh, I do hope it doesn't spread, trying to get in the way as the elf and the Mistwalker sneak in. Yeah, exactly. They won't see me if I... Yeah. So you move through and get to your room. That being said, there are several rooms up on the second floor of this inn. Your room is quite small, especially when you get the four of you in there. It is, it's a party.
Cozy, just like back in the barracks.
Yeah, exactly. Cozy back in the barracks.
Mm.
Yeah, Mathriel has spent some time in a cell. In defense, your cell was more spacious, but this place smells much better.
That's because she killed everyone who tried to share it with her.
Yeah, exactly. It was once quite crowded, but you've been here for a month and you've been slowly killing the condemned.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right. You have the piece that you need to decide what you want to do next, even more so than you did. It is growing near midnight. This is quite true of anywhere that the mist, around midnight, and this is also part of the idea that the mist is some sort of divine punishment. Luminoi, the god of the sun, and Tenebra, the god of the moon and darkness. When the moon is at its highest, there are two moons, but the mist encroaches a little further. So nothing that's going to impede movement directly in most of the town, because for some odd reason, only when it's the strongest does it blanket the whole town. But going in the outskirts will be dangerous. So you have about 6 hours till dawn. You have a fire out in the main, I guess just off the main square. You need to make a decision on how you're going to get out, because the longer you're here, the more dangerous it will become.
Well, I think leaving at dawn, or once we have supplies through the mines, would probably be our safest bet. I'm sure one of you knows where I can pilfer some supplies, so I don't have to wander around too far.
Adelaide probably knows, right?
There are several. It depends on what kind of supplies if you're looking for just food. The inn would have food. Whether it's not, that's probably not the most transportable. A place, if you're looking for probably the most useful amount of food, there would be the granary. If you're looking for horses, the stables are pretty much bare. The only place to find that would be in Lord Jurgen's manor, because he has a private stables. Yeah,
no, we're not too worried about the horses right now. I'm looking for something that can, trail rations. Even if it's just, some food for us to have on the journey, because I don't know how long we're going to be out in the mist.
Exactly.
torches.
That
We will need torches.
We will need torches.
too.
so to
Sounds like a general store I'm gonna have to rob.
there is a little bit of a general store that you could go to. Would probably have a little bit of what you're looking for. It's going to be impossible to find trail rations that are
Yeah.
ready to go. But that being said, bread and cheese would do.
Bread
you
and cheese
know,
sounds great.
Yeah. So that you could get downstairs from the inn if you wanted. But there are people alert in the inn.
You know,
So, but that being said, I will leave this up to you because my notes for this particular section are relatively bare. Is they will probably try to get supplies or equipment. So,
Probably.
have at.
well, I have a bit of money. I can go and buy some bread and cheese.
You know something
Some
else
beers.
we could do? We could ask the audience where we should
Yes.
take something from. So, audience, since you guys have decided to stick with us, we've lost a few since our tech issues. It's to be expected. Thank you for sticking around. What should the party do if you had to go get rations, food, and you were in this situation, bearing the fact that my notes are pretty bare? What do you think you would do? Let's see what we got. We got Nepenthe says they're always here. Well, thank you, Nepenthe. But do you have any fun ideas to toss out to us?
Basically, do you want us to spend money or do you want us to steal? And where?
It is possible. You could go buy it, but this late in the evening, that would attract suspicion, but also
Yeah.
if it's not as likely to go south. So that's a good plan. I didn't even consider about you guys legitimately buying stuff, but it is possible.
Yeah.
Megan, were you saying something? Because your mic kind of gets.
Oh, yikes. I was just saying that, some people are probably out of their houses, so you might be able to nick something from their pantry.
That is true here.
I have no qualms. Lauren has no qualms with going to the next door of like, oh, no one's home.
Yeah, that is true.
Because they said steal from the church.
Steal from the church. They turned on you. That being said, the church, the temple, is they are starting to. I don't want to say hoarding food. That's not true. They are. They are.
They've got a
as
good
church,
supply.
They are giving it out to those that need it, because the granary, like I said, we're not quite at the point that this town is rationing, but they're getting very close.
We need it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So that being said, I feel like since Nepenthe's the one who spoke up, unless someone has a better idea in the next 10 seconds, so you guys start typing, and then I have to remember there's a delay, so I guess 20 seconds. Any better idea other than to steal from the church? It's not exactly the smartest idea, but it's a strong narrative decision.
It's a very strong narrative decision.
Revenge.
I mean, yeah.
Revenge. Yeah,
I don't mind that. I also don't mind just poking into the nearest house that's empty and just taking all of their food.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Because then they can go steal from the church.
Here's what I'm liking about Nepenthe's idea here. Here's what I think your character's rationale is going to be. You could take from the common folk, but at the same time, the common folk, one, they're stuck in this situation anyway. Can you really blame them? The church is burning people. Two, because they're almost in a small way a self-sustaining organization. They may have torches. They may have other supplies that you need. It becomes a one-stop but dangerous shop. You could be there, get everything you needed, and not have to pilfer through 5 houses and potentially wake up, Greta and her 5 screaming babes, which may be a little bit more tough. And the church will say, while it is central, it is further away from the main square to not, should things go awry, immediately do the hue and cry here. Offer to help deliver food for the church, then take off with the food. Strong narrative choices.
I like
All right,
that.
so there you go. So, steal from the church doesn't necessarily have to mean if everybody's dead when you're done, nobody saw you take it, but it could mean that. So I'm going to let you guys take over the role play, but that's your decision. Motivate it yourselves, and then we'll get moving.
So the church has a huge stock of food.
Adelaide offers that information.
All right. Well,
I
I'm
don't
gonna.
think you would.
Yeah,
But the
I'm imagining like, all right, so they have.
The
So
pantries of the common folk are probably there.
great. So the church it is.
All right.
Is it smarter for me, Adelaide?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be smarter for me to dress as you? Well, not as you, but like someone who is in the church and is meant to be there to go in and take food.
Mm. All of the acolytes know each other.
Okay.
I think seeing you would be very suspicious if you were
Well-
dressed like one.
Unfortunately, I've got bloody guard uniform and I've got my regimental purple. So,
Well, I mean, it's the church. We help those in need. I mean, going in there and offering assistance
but I
is
am a
not
stranger in this town.
a stranger that came to do good.
Hey, Albrecht. You're not a stranger in this town.
No, I am not.
Listen, a church that is starting to burn people for having weird eyes. They might see a stranger in town that has possibly run through the mist. Might not go so well for me. Would you be? Now, the other question
Willing
is
to accompany you? Yes, of course.
great. Perfect.
So,
Do we want
What
to
I'm
do this tonight or in the morning?
Kind of feel like it should be tonight.
Certainly look more desperate
Tonight it
if you
is.
come at the night.
Our
all
food's
right,
been
so
burned.
it sounds like the two of you are going to go. Albrecht and Lauren are going to go to the temple and attempt to seek alms because you are poor. So the question is, do you have Mathriel and Adelaide stay behind, or
Yeah.
do you have them, come with you but hide behind their tree in case things get south?
Adelaide would like no. I'm staying.
I kind of feel like I'm a big target.
Mhm.
Because no hood's really gonna hide.
We'd really just hold you back.
The only way we're gonna disguise you is if I had access to enough fabric to fashion it into, make it look like a horned hennin, and then a veil over that. That's a lot of fabric, and we don't have that kind of time.
All right, so it sounds like Mathriel and Adelaide are staying behind, where the two of you head to the church.
Yes.
Okay. So we continue on. Since I cannot see, it sounds so tacky. I normally just peek on. What is our current run time? Can anyone tell me what that is? I cannot see it on mine.
So we're at 27 minutes from when we came back online.
When we came back on. All right, that's fine.
It's 8:30 our time.
That's fine.
Seven.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
okay, then we're going. All right, that's fine. I don't want to run too long, but I also that being we've got plenty of time, and we don't think we had a little extra break, as it were. So let us continue. So Albrecht and Lauren, you will put up your hoods and you will venture out of the inn. As you leave the inn, no one again begins to give you any trouble. As you move through the streets, the fire still burns, and at this point in time, no one is really attempting to put it out. Well, I should say, no one's going to. They know they cannot save the lightless stockade. Their goal is to stop the fire from spreading to other buildings. As of right now, it has yet to do that. So that is kind of the overall, the people that are working to stop it. You will see guards. You will see acolytes there. Essentially anyone that has a bucket and can carry a bucket. They're doing the best they can to stop it from spreading. So there is no need for any checks as you guys to move about. As you head deeper into, you first will go deeper into town and then head on the other side of it. as you approach the temple. The temple itself, outside of it, there are a few lanterns, as it were, braziers, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Are lit.
Braziers.
Yes. There is always one lit within the temple to represent the unending light of Luminoi. So you can see through the various... This church is only fortunate enough to have one stained glass window. But they do their best to do that at least once. Again, as part of the recognize the beauty and the light of Luminoi. There is a single temple guard, and a temple guard, especially in this kind of a town, is really just no more than a city guard that is either very religiously motivated or just part of the city guard because you protect the church. It's what you do. But that is all that you can see. However, you two give me an awareness check. And incidentally, you two are the only two character sheets that were willing to stay open. So I actually can see if anything else will apply to you guys.
Let's see here.
Thank you, character sheet.
Yeah.
I
don't see anything special that applies that doesn't already. So yeah, it's just a normal awareness check here.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
38.
That's a fail. I got an 85.
That is a
I
fail.
did not
but-
fail.
All right. So,
I'm focused on that guard, I guess.
all right. So what you do see though, you only see that guard, Lauren. So you are, I guess, feeling a little bit more reassured. But Albrecht, as your eyes are more trained, or at least in this particular instance, a little bit more astute, your eyes wander a little bit to the nearby vegetation, a nearby tree, and you will see a very faint, shadowy outline of another guard who is relieving his bladder near the tree. So there are, in fact, two guards. So,
Okay.
what's the plan?
Well,
So from here, do we just walk up and beg?
let's ask. And I will approach the guard.
I'll stay with you.
The guard, does not seem to regard you as a threat. Like, he addresses you, so he's got a sword at his waist, but he's just really holding it out of comfort more than he is that perceiving you as a threat. He looks at you and looks towards the town where he can see the sparks and lights. It's not that far away, so it looks as a small... To here, it would look like a small flame, but it's actually a inferno. What is happening in the town?
The lightless stockade has caught fire somehow. I don't entirely know. In the hubbub,
Oh my!
someone robbed my pantry. I don't have any more food.
Someone
was
robbed your
hoping-
pantry.
Well,
Give
yes,
me-
I went out to go look at
Give
the.
me a guile check. You know what? I'm gonna give you a +10 simply because of the fire and all that. He is gonna be.
All right, I'm rolling at a plus 15 because I'm not trained.
I've already included that in all your stats.
Oh, is that okay? I
Yeah,
see.
So yeah.
All right, just squeak by. I got a 50 flat.
There you go. Okay, so good enough. Oh, well, that is indeed terrible.
I know. I just went out to go check the flames, and when I came back, I saw someone running off.
You should go and... We have food here, but I do not give it.
Of course.
The elder, I'm sure, can see to it.
Thank you.
He will... He knocks, looks in. Yes. Elder Matthias. There are two here to see you. So Elder Matthias, as he he's looking out one of the regular windows at the blaze. Yes, come in, please.
Thank you. We just came for, I don't know, perhaps some bread and cheese. Maybe if you have any fruit to spare. Someone raided my pantry when I went out to go look at the flames.
Oh my.
I don't want my children to starve.
In the darkness of Tenebra is where evil spreads. So,
I just want
Albrecht,
Luminoy's help.
Albrecht, do you come in as well?
Yes, I'll go in there.
Gotcha. All right, let me get here.
This might complicate things.
Huh?
Let's see here. That would be all right. Cool. Well, let me see if, no doubt, we have some bread and water. Perhaps a few nuts and berries.
Thank you. Bless you.
Whereabouts in town do you live?
Oh, I'm just on the other side of town.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll something here. Let me check. All right, so you may have gotten very, very lucky, but I gotta check my stuff here. I'm making a scrutinized test to see if I'm able to get anything out of this here. No, let's see here. No. Okay, all right. So he will look at you. I do not recognize you.
I've been told I have a forgettable face.
Well, while Luminoy remembers all, I am but his humble servant. Why don't you pray with me? And then
Of
I shall
course.
fetch your food. You, sir,
Yes.
are you her husband?
No, I'm her brother.
My husband,
Hi.
unfortunately, isn't with us anymore.
I see.
He left town.
He will take you over to the Book of Faith, which is massive, as I've told you before, or in the previous episode. Like, it is...
Thick.
Like, it is more than thick. Like, it could
It's
be
5 C's.
Yeah, it could be the coffee table in and of itself. I have to look up a skill, because I'm going to try a little trick on you, but we're going to see how well it works before, and then I'll go ahead and roleplay it. I am going to tell you about my religion. The problem is, I am a cult leader. So, as I begin
Cool.
to tell you about it, I may, in fact, indoctrinate you.
Shh.
So, let's look it up.
Listen, I've already been indoctrinated. I'm in the military.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see which one works better.
Well,
Here. All right, so incantation, I can use this as a form of hypnosis. If in person,
Oh, goody.
if I succeed, the person you perform hypnosis on is brainwashed, and I may choose one of
Oh,
the following
no.
effects. All right, so what's my incantation check? And I'm gonna do.
oh no.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
What was that,
So-
As
Megan?
soon as
He's thumping that Bible at you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Very convincingly. He's
It's a
like,
big Bible. Why am I terrible at
he should have a TV show about it, I guess.
Why am I terrible at this check here? All right, let's see here.
To
Big
give
money.
me hope.
I succeed by 2.
Shit.
So what you need to do is you need to roll a resolve check.
Okay.
So I am using it at you. If you win,
There it is.
you get it. You're the defender. So go ahead and give me a resolve test. You get no particular bonuses unless you have something that would have given it to you here.
So I needed to roll the 40 or below. I got a 40.
Gotcha. All right. Well, he got a 43, so you barely do it. So, Ian, you need to make a resolve test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you might be pretty good at it. You are the magi. Yeah, you're doing a little better. Actually, you're actually better at hypnotizing than he is. Like, amateur. Amateur.
You start hypnotizing Matthias instead.
Right?
He leaves the church.
I got a new
Why aren't y'all
idea for
doing
your
that?
religion.
40s.
Yeah, how about instead of burning, you just don't?
Yeah.
What if?
What'd you get? What'd you get?
What if I were God?
What if God were one of
I,
us?
I failed.
You
65.
fail.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
All right. Let me see here. What are my options are?
Oh.
You could implant the person you recall an event that is transpired before. Should you brainless that they new beliefs that are dangerous? Okay. So here's what's gonna happen: is begins to tell you a story. He begins. It's actually here. I'll just roll play. He'll lift open the massive volume to a part that has a silk ribbon. This treachery reminds me of Tenebra's treachery. Do you know the story?
I know the story.
Tenebra was the brother of Luminoi, jealous of Luminoi's power to manipulate the ether to create life, matter, all the beauty you see around you. And in the darkness of night, Luminoi snuck in and took the ether. And through that, he created monsters. But Luminoi is graceful. He is forgiving. For the following day, when Luminoi discovered this, he turned to his brother and said, "Had you but asked for the secrets, I would have given them to you. Had your neighbor but asked you for food, you would have followed Luminoi's example and you would have given it.
Of course.
But no, this traitor snuck into your pantry under the cover of night, as Tenebra did. And as Tenebra did, left the court out of shame. Tenebra can return to Chaldeum at any time if he only asks for forgiveness. But his pride will stop him. I'm sorry for what has happened to you. I will pray for you. So he will kind of he gets down and at the altar. So in these churches, what will happen here, this is because you guys live in Silver Rock, this is actually initially, the whole church was initially kind of set up for the worship of the Silver Wolf. So there's actually a lot of wolf kind of regalia about, but always in the center and the prominence when the Imperia Magnum took over. Essentially, the rule to get acclimated into the religion was great. Let's just staple a nice little picture of a Luminoi up there, and then there you go. He invites all the gods to his courts, and then there's the brazier. So he will pray over it, and he will speak in the language of the Imperium, which is essentially fancy Latin. And as he continues, though, the light will get brighter. And this is the thing that happens with you, Ian. You will have, essentially, because I can implant a false memory, you will see the light even bigger around him, and you can see a shape. But not a frightening shape, a holy shape, as if it is anointing Elder Matthias. So what that will do is, because I feel like it's not going to completely change your worldview, this particular instance, but you may have to make a fear check in regards to dealing with Elder Matthias in the future, because holy shit, he may have some divine intervention. But once that is finished, he will go over to a door, and he heads down. I will be back for your food. And he heads downstairs. While you guys are waiting, let's jump over to Mathriel and Adelaide, you are alone. What did the two of you do? I believe I saw in our private chat that you two had an idea.
Yeah. While we're sort of sitting here, Mithril will sort of just be like tapping at the floor and just say, You're pretty defenseless, right? Well, I think you've become mute
You're
again.
muted.
Sorry, like my roommates are shuffling around, and so I didn't want it to pick up. But anyway,
You keep getting anointed by the gods that first they take your side, give it back, then they take your speech and then give it back.
I guess so. I've never really had a reason to fight.
Fix that. There's no way you're gonna survive out there if you can't at least defend yourself a little bit.
How do I fix that?
Let me teach you something. And she'll sort of reach out a hand to pull you up from sitting. Alright. Well, you don't need to fight like me. But it would be useful if you knew how to kind of fend somebody off, so. And Mithril will sort of go through some self-defense maneuvers. Like, if somebody's coming from behind you, you know, doing the elbow and the solar plexus.
Poking with the horns. Oh, wait. I mean...
Just normal
Oh, not everybody has this.
advice.
I really like that here. Let me check the skill list. I feel like there should be a skill for this. I feel like education's more book learning. You know what I'm going to have you do? You're going to do a leadership test, Mathriel. That is under the fellowship skills, near the bottom of that skill. But I'm going to, because... are you trained? I assume you're trained in martial melee, I assume. That's like your top skill. I'm 99% sure you are, because you're the fighter. So I'm going to give you a plus 10% to this. And Adelaide, you are going to make... trying to think here. You might just make a... Why don't you just go ahead and give me an intelligence or a fellowship test? Now, this is just your stat. Because that's going to be your ability to pick it up. Because that's either socially your ability to interact with Mathriel or your intellectual way of understanding what is being taught to you. Mathriel, what did we get?
The 39, which with the plus 10, I make it.
All right. There we go.
I'm gonna go for intelligence because Adelaide's still pretty wary around Mathriel.
Gotcha.
The horns.
Makes total sense.
But she's smart.
It's the horns.
So which die do I
So you're gonna roll 2d10,
William?
and you're gonna pick one to be the tens dice. Sometimes when I roll, if they're the same color, I just pick whichever's the furthest to the left, and then you put those together. So if you roll a 3 and a 5, it's a 35. If you roll 0 zeros, that's 100. If you roll a 0 and a 1, that's 1.
I rolled 2 3s.
So the good news is you succeed. What's your intelligence, rather? I'm sorry, I can't.
My intelligence is 40.
All right, so you succeed and you got doubles. Whenever you succeed and get doubles, it's a critical success. So what's going to happen?
What up?
Yeah. So what's going to happen here is in between games, once we start spending XP, which maybe we'll do after this, I will give you a little bit of a discount to buy simple melee, because I feel like even though you're being taught martial melee, to you it's you're learning the basics right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's fun, and I really
Yay.
yeah. So you two are practicing as quietly as you can, but then you hear a creaking sound, like the floor creaking just outside the door.
Maythriel will mom arm Adelaide.
Okay.
Where's my hood?
And then
just
there's a
kind
knock.
of listen. I assume there's no like closet situation in this room.
No, that being said, there is a foot chest. You two could squeeze in there if you wanted. It is possible if you wanted to be very sneaky like that. Because there is a
I mean,
lock,
if
but it's...
I think that's probably our best.
All right, I love it.
Yep.
I love it here. I'm gonna
Neither
take
of us can be found, so.
All right, so I'm gonna take either an athletics, coordination, or even skullduggery.
Athletics.
Check, yeah. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and let this roll happen. You guys, I forgot to set up fortune points. I'll set out some things here. So I think last time they had all been to me, but we're just gonna divvy them up, and I will keep better track of this in the future. Hopefully, when I'm not running 3 streams in 36 hours, and not having a bunch of tech issues. So you have 2 fortune points. I have 2 misfortune points. You can spend fortune points to re-roll should you fail. So you're trying to get below either athletics, coordination, or skullduggery.
I did skullduggery and I got a 29 out of 44, so I'm
There
good.
you go.
I'm sorry. There's a lot on this sheet, and
It's okay. It's
my eyes
near
are
the
not
top.
good in these contexts.
It's near the top.
I'm gonna do skullduggery, and I got a 3 and a 1.
A 3 and 1, so 31. What's your skullduggery rating?
37.
There you go, barely. Okay, so what happens is you two, in a very much, it is either comic or I dare say pseudo. It's comic, awkward, or pseudo romantic, as you two are kind of just in each other's business in this small yellow topic, potentially pseudo intimacy.
I think for Adelaide, it's more, I guess, like a combination of awkward and comical.
Gotcha. And I'll let you guys.
Not so much romantic, but like I don't think Adelaide has found herself this close to another woman before, regardless of the race.
Yeah, exactly. So in this moment, you will hear the key being turned at the door as you guys are in there. You're trying to shut it quietly, but it kind of is hitting your horns there, Mathriel, and you kind of turn just as the door opens, and you two, like I said, in that comical moment, are just like in each other's business. And now we'll jump over to our others. All right. Elder Matthias will come up. He has a basket. I don't want to say full, but it's not. It's the middle.
Yeah.
You know, he's not cheaping you, but he's not giving you Thanksgiving dinner.
It's filled.
Yeah,
it's
filled.
not overflowing.
Yes, the cup does not runneth over.
That would be greedy.
Yeah.
Greed's a sin.
Oh, thank you, Elder Matthias. I so appreciate this.
It is the best we can do in these trying times.
Just like physically avoiding his you are beneficent, Elder Matthias.
He touches your shoulder, Albrecht, but looks at, kind of that friendly, like, hey, buddy, it's okay, but still addresses Lauren. I hope that you two can find your way.
May Luminoi light the way.
Keep an eye out. As acolytes of the pure, we must watch. We must watch our brothers and sisters, for we are the shepherds. Whoever did this to you, we will find them, and we will offer them forgiveness. And hopefully they will be wiser than Tenebra. And they will be welcome back in the court. Go, be safe.
Have a good night, Elder. Thank you. Thank you again. Well, turn and leave.
Get the out.
We're not speed walking, but this is the walk of a I have to walk across town kind of clip, which is fine. We're not walking across town.
All right. So looking at the time, we're going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break, everyone. Sorry for 2 breaks. I just want to make sure my cast... the first one wasn't a real break, more of me going, oh, crap. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Everyone's going to hit the bathroom, and we're going to come back, and we'll wrap up the episode. It's not going to be immediately end, but we're going to kind of have the last little third of it. So I hope everyone's having a good time. Thank you for sticking with us during this tech issues. One day I will be good at this, and we'll go ahead here. Yes, and we will go eat our cheese and bread. That'd be nice.
Yes.
You know what? I do have cheese. Do we have bread? I might have bread.
I
All
have
right, everybody.
some bread and cheese. I will be back.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, and we will see
Please
you
stay.
all in just a
Yes.
little bit. Yeah, go get a drink or do what you got to do. Check out something else, and be back in about 5. Thank you, everybody.